Hello again, Megan here.
And Scott.
Today we want to dive in and talk to you guys about how we share your stories with our clients and how you can better shape and relate your stories for the audience members that might not have an artist background or really much know about art. So I'm going to pass this over to Scott so he can kind of give his perspective on this.
Yeah, so as the resident non-artist, what I thought I'd talk about is, I guess, my experience when I used to either visit galleries or, again, sit in spaces and how I engage with art. I think one of the biggest challenges, if I can be just very genuine and authentic about this, is that I do sometimes struggle to relate to the language that is traditionally used in galleries. I sometimes describe it as a bit of a thesaurus soup. I know there's words, I recognize words on a plaque, but I do find it really hard to sometimes relate to. And I mean, again, now with the benefit of greater understanding of art, I can understand that some art is about challenging a norm, challenging different established styles. But when I didn't know about those things, it was just so easy for me to just walk past some of that artwork because I just felt like, oh, okay, well, there's no way for me to connect. It's an untitled artwork. There's no description. I don't even know where I'm supposed to start.
Maybe even too conceptual. Maybe the idea of the artwork's too conceptual where it needs an explanation for the audience member to understand it because they're looking at the image and don't know even where to start or what to think.
Absolutely. And I think in the context of an office environment, if we all put ourselves into that particular setting, people are doing different things. I might be working on a strategy document somewhere. And so as I'm walking past a piece of artwork, there's almost an added step for me to go to be able to go, okay, what is this about? How am I supposed to connect to this thing? And so, I mean, this informs how we sometimes tell some of our stories for artists because we're trying to help people who are in that mindset be able to go, oh, okay, here's an easier way for me to start my relationship with art. So how do you help tell some of these stories?
So with some of the descriptions that artists upload in ColorSpace, sometimes the language is a bit elevated or it's very academic, which was great in university and great for galleries. But you have to remember your audience member is not the big gallery enthusiast. We have a collective of many people that are viewing your artwork. So in a sense, we try to make the language as direct and as clear as possible on the plaques so that you're getting more visibility, that you have more of a chance of an audience member understanding your artwork. And one of the things that we want to communicate with you guys is what are some ways that you can be more direct with your descriptions to help us help you connect your artwork to your audience members.
That's right. And I'm really mindful that the intention here is not really about like dumbing down the artwork.
No.
That's not the intention at all. I think it's about, we talked about our vision of making art more accessible, about changing how people have the relationship with art. And so that's sort of what this is in support of. It's actually to create multiple different pathways for people to be able to relate to art. And so it's almost like sometimes when we look at some of the plaques and the stories we bring to a client, if it's a new client, we might actually sometimes provide additional materials to that client to help them start to think about art and the relationship with art. And then once they become more mature, then we can start to increase the level of language. So there's part of that sort of journey. And so less about dumbing it down. I think it's about how do we create just different stories, different ways for people to relate. And because, again, ColorSpace is a different type of a gallery situation, we're not saying that the same story has to apply or the same type of storytelling has to apply for every piece of artwork. There's an opportunity for you to be able to create different stories. And so that means, sure, there can be a couple that
Yeah.
are maybe at the more academic end of
Yeah.
the spectrum, but equally it'd be great if there are a few that tell stories in a different way.
Yeah. And some things to watch out for is cliches, because if you're using a cliche, chances are another one of our artists is using that same cliche. And I've seen them in a lot of descriptions. I'm just sharing what I've read with a lot of descriptions. Some of the artists have put little to no description. So we've either had to try to contact you or interpret what you want to communicate. So even if you have to give us bullet points of what your artwork's about and you want us to write the paragraph or the sentences, that's fine. We just need a little bit of help from you guys of what stories you want to communicate.
That's right. So at the end of the day, this is how we're trying to tell the story for people. This is how we can help different audiences find connection to our clients. But equally, having spoken to several artists, we know we do get this question a lot. How do we help get our artwork out there more? We hope that this is also helpful just for your own profile as well.
Yeah.
This isn't just for us. It's about sharing again what people have been saying, what people resonate with, and if we can elevate that that storytelling for everyone, then everyone gets the benefit, because there will be other audiences that you might come in contact with that also have this, level of learning or a beginner understanding of art, and so this might be helpful for you too.
Yeah, one of the biggest things to help your artwork get out there is your communication. And your communication skills might not be up to where you want them, but this is also why we're making the videos and asking these questions to help you harness your communication skills and fine-tune them to, I guess, best get yourself out there, get your artwork out there, and yeah.
So if this area of storytelling is something that you might need some help with, please feel free to reach out to us. It's always easier to be able to edit something than it is to create something from scratch.
Yeah.
So if this is something that might be of support to you, then please drop us an email and we'll be able to help.
Yep.
Again, just a reminder to everyone, if there's other questions that you'd like us to cover in future videos, if there's burning questions or wonderings that you have, please drop us a note and we'll add it to the list of videos that we have.
Yep.
But otherwise, hope this was helpful. Stay tuned for more to come. Thank you.
Bye.